France's Court of Cassation has once and for all put an end to any baseless speculations about the downing of former President Juvenal Habyarimana's plan in 1994 by rejecting an appeal on the case. Now, earlier this evening, we were able to speak to Yolande Makolo, who is the spokesperson of the Government of Rwanda, and ask her about this latest development and its significance.
So let me begin by asking you this for the record. How has the Government of Rwanda received the decision of the court?
Today's decision is a vindication of the Rwandan officials who are wrongly accused by former Judge Bruguiere. It has been more than 2 decades of harassment of these officials and, by extension, the Government of Rwanda. However, there's nothing to celebrate. This case was a cover-up, always been a cover-up. Its goal was to distract from the role of French officials at the time who supported the government that planned and committed the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda in 1994. And this fact has been meticulously recorded over the years, including by the Muse report and the Duclair report that were released last year.
From a legal standpoint, there is no reason whatsoever for this case to have dragged on for as long as it did. How does this ruling reinforce that fact?
The French justice system has its own particular processes. However, what is important to note is that this case should never have seen the light of day in the first place. It was never about justice, but about politics. It was an attempt by some French politicians at the time to delegitimize the RPF, which stopped the genocide against the Tutsi, and to sabotage the post-genocide government of Rwanda. Now, 24 years later, this elaborate cover-up is over.
And finally, how do you see this ruling helping to refute any future attempts by those who try to distort the truth about the 1994 genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi here in Rwanda?
It's important. This case perpetrated a lie, and it has fueled genocide denial. However, all the falsifications and the manipulations put together by Judge Bruguiere have been exposed and debunked over the years, and finally defeated by today's decision. So this case is now out of the way, but it has been a massive waste of time, resources, and energy. Despite this attempted sabotage, the government of Rwanda has remained committed to protecting, uniting, and serving all Rwandans and rebuilding our country.
Mrs. Yolande Makolo, spokesperson of the Government of Rwanda, thank you for taking the time to speak to Rwanda Television.